So they own these properties and they're currently paying the property tax basis on what their parents or their grandparents purchased it at. Hey everybody, welcome to Info on the Go, the show where we make understanding real estate clear, calm, and concise. I'm your host, Dietric Williams. Today we're going to be talking about something that's very specific to the state of California, and that's Prop 19. Now, a lot of you voted for this, and some of you didn't vote for this, but what does this really mean, and how does this affect you as a current homeowner or a future homeowner? Well, I'm glad you asked. So let's kind of break this down, but I'm going to backtrack a little bit to talk about some other propositions that are currently in play that Prop 19 is going to negate next year in 2021. So let's start right here. If you are 55 years or older and you sell a property, you can transfer your property tax basis from that primary residence to a new residence within the same county that's using Prop 60, or to another county that participates in the transfer program. That's Prop 90. Now, you can only do this one time. And with Props 58 and 193, if you are a parent or a grandparent, you can transfer that property tax basis to your child or your grandchild using that. Here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Prop 19 expands some of those same services or some of those same benefits, but it eliminates some of the other ones. So let's go right here. Prop 19 applies to those who are 55 years or older, who are extremely disabled, or who have been victims of disasters like the wildfires that have taken place, right? So it allows those participants or those people to transfer their tax basis to a new residence. And the old way, it had to be of equal or lesser value. With Prop 19, it's equal or greater value. A huge benefit right there, right? Also, it's not just a one-time thing. You can do this up to 3 times under Prop 19. Now, when we're talking about intergenerational wealth or the transference of that, here's where Prop 19 is going to affect many of you. Now, remember when I told you Props 90 or Props 58 and 193 allowed you to transfer that property tax basis to a child or a grandchild? Well, under Prop 19, you can still do that, but only if it is the family home of the child or the grandchild, meaning they would actually have to live in the house. In Los Angeles, we have a lot of older people who are transitioning, I'll use that word, who are transitioning, leaving property to a child or a grandchild who doesn't live in the state of California. So they own these properties and they're currently paying the property tax basis on what their parents or their grandparents purchased it at. So here's how Prop 60 and 90 work currently. Suppose a homeowner purchased her Los Angeles residence in 1960 for, let's say, $30,000. Thanks to Proposition 13, that homeowner currently pays about $700 in annual property taxes. The current value of the home is $2 million. This homeowner desires to downsize and move closer to her grandchildren in another part of Los Angeles. The homeowner sells her current residence for $2 million and purchases a new home for $1.5 million. Without Proposition 60 and Proposition 90, the new property taxes would be $15,000 per year. With Proposition 60 and Proposition 90, the new property taxes remain $700, saving this homeowner $14,300 per year for as long as they own the home. Now, remember when I told you Props 58 and 193 allowed that same person to transfer that tax basis to a child or a grandchild. Now, under Prop 19, it's a little bit different. So the replacement residence can be of greater value. So let's use an example like this. Let's take the original primary residence, the taxable value, let's say it's $400,000. And let's say some years later, this homeowner sold her property for $900,000, and she's going to find a replacement property for $1 million. The difference between the price of the original primary residence and the primary residence that she's about to purchase is $100,000. So the new property tax is going to be valued at the $400,000 plus the difference between what she sold it for, $900,000, and what she just bought, $1 million. So that difference is $100,000. Therefore, the new taxable value is $500,000. Now imagine you're out of state. You have a mom or dad, whoever, a grandparent, who has this property in a trust, and it's going over to you to transfer the wealth over to you. Once this happens, Prop 19 comes into effect because this is no longer a primary residence or a family home. So it's going to affect people who are getting intergenerational transference of wealth through real estate, because they're going to want to sell the property without having to pay that tax bill. That will open up some inventory for us, which should be a little bit easier on some of you buyers. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be a lot, because it's not going to swing from a seller's market to a buyer's market just because of that. But it's going to unleash some inventory, which should cool off some of the supply-demand issues. We may see some cooling off in terms of prices, and prices may correct themselves to kind of get back to equilibrium. None of us really know when that's going to take effect. It doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. But I just wanted to let you know how Prop 19 can affect you, or is going to affect you as a current homeowner or as a future homeowner. Something you really need to pay attention to is how this is going to affect the state of California, and particularly Los Angeles, where we see this all the time. You have parents or grandparents who leave properties in trust and pass that on to children or grandchildren. Currently, you can transfer the tax bases again, but starting next year, I believe in April, unless it's a family home, primary residence, you won't be able to take advantage of that anymore, and you're going to see your tax bills increase. So I am not an estate planner. I am not an attorney, but I will tell you, please, if you're in a situation where you know you're going to inherit a property, or your parents or grandparents are going to pass this property on and keep it in the family, talk to an estate planner or a tax professional, so that you understand kind of the consequences and the nuances of what's going to go down when Prop 19 hits in 2021. So I hope you guys found this information useful. Please, as always, if you did, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell so you're notified when I drop future editions of Info on the Go on YouTube. I want to thank you all again for watching. I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving. And as always, I will see you next time.